Every once in a while, I feel a little charitable. I'd like to take a minute to try and help right-wingers understand how to read a chart. So the Republicans have been whining for years now, for 3 years precisely, that spending is out of control. And in some sense, they're right. But look at what consists. This is the deficit. This is that spending. This is what adds to our debt every year. This is what makes up the deficit that gets added to the debt every year. The biggest element is the Bush tax cuts. So at the same time that Republicans are whining about spending, they're whining about the deficit and the debt. They want to continue the biggest element of the deficit. The biggest single factor that adds to our debt each year is those Bush tax cuts. It's a completely contradictory position. And when you look at the year 2012, you can see that recovery measures, which is the stimulus, you can see that that's barely a trickle at this point. The deficit is entirely the economic downturn, TARP, Fannie and that's over. TARP, Fannie and Freddie's over. The Bush era tax cuts and the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. If we got rid of all those things, we would have no deficit. We would stop adding to the debt each year. We still have to take care of the interest from the previous debt added, but the deficit would be a lot smaller, probably in the under 100 billion, couple hundred billion a year just for the interest. So when you see a right-winger trying to blame President Obama for all the debt added in his presidency, what they're talking about is from here 09 to 012. You can see that the stimulus is maybe 20% of the total amount. If you just took a subsection of the area, the stimulus is basically 20% of the amount that they're trying to blame him for. They've basically been blaming him for Republican policies a lot of times that they themselves voted for. Boehner, for instance, John Boehner, he's up there whining about spending constantly. He voted for these things. A lot of these guys did. McConnell, of course he did. This is Republican policy they're blaming on Obama, and you guys, you right-wingers out there, are actually mad at Obama for these Republican policies. You're going to vote Republican based on being angry at Obama for Republican policies that he didn't support, sign into law, or vote for. It's idiotic.